Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, February 18, 2025. I will call the Jackson County Board of Supervisors meeting to order. To my left, we got Mike Steinis, myself, Don Swiker, and then Flagel to my right. Bjorn with IT, Lisa Smith with the auditor. Luann is absent today. We have Brittany in the back with the Sentinel Press, and first up is Jaden Shekel. Jaden, you're on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. First thing on the agenda is the approval of a funding agreement. This is for our Bellevue 2555 bridge on 362nd Avenue, otherwise known as Z15. If you remember or recall last week, you guys approved the plans for it to be submitted. In order for this to go to letting, the DOT drafts just a funding agreement. This is standard with all of our bridges let through the DOT. So just standard verbiage of where the funds are coming from, which is our VR account, all that stuff. So pretty standard. So just recommend approval of this funding agreement so it can go to letting.
Make a motion to approve.
I would second.
Got a motion by Nin, second by Mike to approve the funding agreement for the bridge replacement on Z15, 362nd Avenue. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Next up is the DOT, the Competitive Highway Bridge Program. So this was about a month or 2 months ago. The DOT is putting together an application for this Competitive Highway Bridge Program, and it was something that was last available in like 2018, 2017. And they sent it out to all the counties, a spreadsheet of qualifying structures. And we had one in there, and it was one that's actually was previously in our 5-year program to get done. But it's eligible for this grant. And if awarded, I talked to the DOT, I mean, they can't say it's a guarantee, but they, for the most part, said it's a guarantee because they'll have bridges in this application too. So there's going to be like 30 some counties and the DOT themselves. But what this would do is, this bridge was originally planned as a day labor bridge in our 5-year program. We get awarded this grant, it will become a contract let through the DOT. So it'll be like a slab bridge, like on 184th that just got done. And it would really cost us the same amount because as part of this grant, there's a percentage that's covered by the grant and a percentage of a local match, which is typically year 80-20. I mean, that's yet to be determined, but that's typically what it is. So we would, for a slab bridge, we would have this as a day labor bridge in the past. We would have spent all of it being local money. If we were getting awarded this grant, we apply basically that same amount of money, only we are getting now a slab bridge out of it versus our day labor style bridges. So to me, it's like, yep, let's go ahead and I'll include this one for submittal. There was yes. And so what's on the agenda for today is the 28E agreement between us and the DOT, and also a support letter, which is typical what we've done with the RAISE grant for Iron Bridge and 395th, but a support letter, a resolution that is a support letter for this project.
Do you need them separate?
I would do it separate.
Yes, I just wanted to give a little backstory, I guess.
So I would make a motion to approve the 28E agreement with the Iowa DOT as presented.
I'll second that.
We got a motion by Mike, second by Nin to approve a 2080 agreement with the Iowa DOT for the Competitive Highway Bridge Program application of the bridge on 578th Avenue. Any other discussion? Go ahead and take a roll. Or all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
I'll make a motion for our letter of support for the CHP grant.
I would second that.
Oh, we need a resolution.
So that is resolution 1098-02-18-2025.
We have a motion
And a second.
and got a motion by Nin, second by Mike to approve resolution and support letter for the Competitive Highway Bridge Program grant grant agreement, which is resolution 1098-02-18-2025. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Anything else for us?
Nope. No, we got a lot of grants out there, so
We'll go get them.
I like it.
Any problems with the snow removal last week? Everything went well?
Everything went real well. Actually, the pavements cleaned up really well with the cold temperatures, the salting of it melts some material, but you have a chance for refreeze, but what the guys did, I mean, pavements are looking good.
Yep.
So, yeah, everything went real smooth, or as smooth as can be.
Okay. Cool. Thank you much.
Yep.
We appreciate it. Next on the agenda is visitors and citizens. Anybody, you don't have anybody here, anybody online would like to address the board? None, I guess. Ruth, Michael, Lori's not, Lori gonna come in?
Just jumped on.
Lori's not coming in. She may Zoom.
Oh, Lori, are you there? Got it. You want to unmute?
Okay, hi guys.
All right, you're up.
I did comb my hair for you guys, just so you know. So anyway, I know Nan, you were at the meeting last night. The commission has tabled their decision until they can gather additional information. Probably to be done at next month's meeting.
That's regarding the data mining, is that correct?
Yes.
That's correct.
And any movement for appointments? To your board?
On your end, that would be on your end, not mine.
Yeah, we just didn't know because we saw there was one application, but it hasn't made it to the agenda. We didn't know if we were holding off a time frame before, or is that something we can just make sure gets on next week's agenda?
Why don't you do that? That way, if there's something out there that we're missing, we don't want to overlook that.
Okay,
There's 2 applications, correct?
I believe so.
I know there was another one, but I think that was for the Board of Adjustment, but it was a city person, so they wouldn't be eligible.
okay. We'll just make sure we get it put on next week's meeting.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, good luck to you.
All right.
Thank you, guys. We'll talk later.
Bet.
Bye.
All right. Lisa?
Portion of the meeting today, I need a, excuse me, I need a motion to approve the minutes of the February 11th, 2025 board proceeding. And the February 11th, 2025 work session is presented by Auditor Smith and authorized publication in the official newspapers.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mike, second by Nan to approve the minutes of the February 11th, 2025 board proceedings and the February 11th, 2025 work session minutes as written by Auditor Smith and authorized publication in the official newspapers. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I need a motion to approve the renewal of a Class C retail alcohol license with outdoor service to the Macokota Country Club at 17961 33rd Street, Macokota, effective March 6, 2025 through March 5th, 2026.
I feel like we just did that. So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Nan, second by Mike to approve the renewal of the Class C retail alcohol license and outdoor service to the Macokota Country Club effective March 6, 2025 through March 5th, 2026. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I need a motion to approve an authorized chair signature on the equipment donation agreement between Northeast Iowa Area Agency on Aging, Inc., NEI 3A, and Jackson County for the equipment at 1000 East Quarry Street, Macokota, known as the Senior Center.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mike, second by Nan to approve an authorized chair signature on the equipment donation agreement between the Northeast Iowa Area Agency on Aging and the Jackson County equipment located at the Senior Center. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Just so you know, we have state auditors in the building. There are 3 state auditors that will be here, this week and next. So that's just an update for you. Since Luann is gone today, I will continue with her calendar. Excuse me. At 3:30 this afternoon, there's Macocata Watershed Executive Meeting by Zoom for Don. At 5 o'clock tonight is the Conservation Board meeting at Hurstville for anyone that would like to attend. On Wednesday at 1 p.m., there's a Mississippi Valley Workforce Board meeting in Davenport, either by Zoom or in person for Don. On Thursday, February 20th at 1 p.m. is a Mississippi Valley Workforce CEO meeting for Don on Zoom. And that night at 6 o'clock is Limestone Bluffs RC&D by Zoom for Don. And at 7 p.m. is our public hearing on our 5-year road plan. We will all be here. It's at 7 o'clock at night, and have we determined if we're gonna do it upstairs or
Had the
downstairs?
community room on the agenda or on the calendar, but I don't know that that's correct or
I
not.
would say either here or the
It's
community.
easier if it's here.
Yeah, I would say if Jaden intends to use the video equipment, that would probably be here.
Yeah. I would say let's just do it here,
Yeah.
because I haven't
Works,
heard,
yeah, it works easier, yeah.
I haven't heard
Here.
of any large
Okay.
group of people wanting to come in,
Okay,
so.
all right, we'll visit with Jaden about that. No meetings on Friday, February 21st. On Monday, February 21st at 1 p.m. is the Eastern Iowa Mental Health and Disability meeting in Davenport. I know Jack is our representative. That afternoon at 4 p.m. is the Early Childhood Iowa Council meeting in DeWitt for NIN. And at 6 p.m. is a Board of Adjustment meeting in the community room downstairs for anyone that would like to attend. And we're back here on Tuesday, February 25th, which, keep in mind, is an afternoon meeting. We will start at 4:30. It's a very short meeting. And then we will have a public hearing at 6 o'clock that night for the wind energy ordinance. I assume we'll be downstairs.
I assume.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and that's all I have for the calendar.
All right,
Mhm.
thank you very much. Ruth? Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Brisk walk over, I take it.
Yeah, it was. I'm assuming you have the information that I sent over. Awesome, perfect. Okay, so, good morning.
Morning.
Just a few quick office stats from last month. We had 57 in-person visits, from veterans and family members. We were really busy in January. 96 phone calls. We filed 10 disability claims, 5 supplemental claims, 1 survivor's pension, 8 miscellaneous forms. Those might be like intent to files, health cares, those kind of things, discharge upgrades. We had 15 decisions made in January, and we still have 64 open claims. So we're working hard over there.
Are they starting to get decisions out faster yet, or are they still bogged down a little bit?
No, I feel like this month is just dragging. I keep checking people's things. I'm like, have they made a decision? And no, nothing. They're still stuck. So I don't know how that's all going to play out this month, but there's been a lot of changes, so that might be part of it too. So we have 419 veterans in Jackson County and eligible family members receiving $801,798 in December, and that is up $25,062 from November. We might see a slight increase again in January, but part of that, once we get that January award, but part of that might be due to the COLA increase. It might not necessarily be, that ongoing, right? It might just be that COLA there. So the GDX report, I know we went over it a little bit last month, but you didn't have the actual papers in front of you. I'll just hit some highlights, and the rest of it can just be, you can look at it, and if you have questions, let me know. The veteran population in Jackson County is estimated to be 1,248. That's done through the federal VA, not through anything that we do. Fiscal year 23, because this is where this report's from, saw an increase of $887,000 in benefits for our veterans compared to fiscal year 22. Our total veteran benefits, including medical care, insurance and indemnities, education and compensation and pension, is $14,810,000 for fiscal year 23. We also have an increase in veterans using medical care in fiscal year 23. So we had 535 veterans in Jackson County using one of the VA hospitals. And that's up by 12 veterans from fiscal year 22. So it doesn't seem like a lot, but considering our veteran population, that's quite a few more veterans that are using the healthcare. And even though our veteran population is estimated to be lower for fiscal year 23 than 22, we still had an increase in benefits for our veterans. And part of that, it's done through this vet pop census type thing. So I don't know how updated that is and how often that gets updated. But like I said, if you have questions on any of this report, just let me know. I included Iowa and highlighted it. All the other states are in there too. So that's kind of interesting. And then the other counties in Iowa, I gave you that one as well. So that can be interesting too. Yeah. So as far as community outreach, the Makoko Sentinel Press article this month was about burial benefits and survivors benefits. So basically trying to get people whose veterans have passed away to come into our office and see if there's anything they're eligible for. Some of those benefits have a time limit. So we want to make sure that we get them in, in a timely fashion. I was invited to speak at the Makoko Rotary this month. So I spoke about what we do in Veterans Affairs and how that affects our Jackson County veterans. I'm planning on attending the AMVETS meeting February 24th in Preston. They're having their chili and oyster cook off. So I'm going to go and introduce myself and see if I can't make some connections there. And then upcoming events, we actually have some really cool upcoming events. I'm excited. So we are participating in the Blooming with Health Senior Expo at the Makokata Area Family YMCA on March 20th, 2025. It'll be a great opportunity for veterans and just seniors in our community as well. We are partnering and actually being sponsored by the Boy 61 Drive-In Theater to do a Veterans Appreciation Night at the Boy Drive-In Theater on July 3rd, 2025. So they are donating the drive-in, the cost of the drive-in. They're giving a small popcorn and a small pop to veterans. Everyone in the veterans car gets in free along with the veteran. It could be really fun. I'm excited. Yeah, I hope so. So we are reached out to a lot of different veterans organizations because we'd like to have a sort of a vendor fair before the movie there are all these different service organizations, Quad Cities, Dubuque, nonprofit organizations, VA hospitals, VA clinics, things like that to come in. So I'm reaching out to all of them. I'm hoping we get a lot of participation. So that's what we have going on in Veterans Affairs.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your information. Keep up the good work.
Yes, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Mr. Storm.
Morning.
Morning.
So I'm a little hoarse, just a little underway.
Ain't
Like
we all?
everybody else, right?
Yeah.
So last we talked, we had a county EMS meeting and it was brought up about the essential EMS service and what we want to do with our services. And they wanted to pursue that a little bit further. So I'm looking for some more information from Jones County, Cedar County, area counties that already have that in place and see kind of the process on it. So that's more to come on that. So I'll let you guys know when you really need to get involved on it. Courthouse and regional CPR classes. So we held class out of Hurstville for the environmentalists out there. And then I held 2 CPR classes here in the courthouse. I'm going to look to have one next week again too, because we had some ill or snow days or whatever. People couldn't attend and Becky was on vacation and she wanted to attend too. So I'm going to throw another class out there next week to see anyone that wants to be involved in it. We can kind of do a little makeup class there. So some good things came out of it. A couple people brought up about there's no AED over at Penrose. So I bring that back to Becky and I don't know how that goes. That kind of spurred, okay, who kind of takes care of the one down here too. Becky was like, well, it was security there and doesn't know if that continued on with security kind of maintaining that or who's kind of responsible. So
The batteries and the pads were just replaced.
they were just replaced. So it's
I was
that's
gonna
how
say
you're
they
off.
were either just
Okay.
ordered or I didn't know if they came in yet.
It's $500.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
It's for new pads and battery was $500.
Yep.
Need to reach out to Jen Warren and see if there's a grant for the Penrose.
Yeah, and that's what Becky said too. She was gonna see, what we did to get this one. I don't know if it was out of budget, or if it was a previous grant, or
Well, I know Jen Warren has,
that's where you got the church one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so
and there's
there's money there.
other ones.
Don't
They're
emergency
getting one.
managers usually get them grants too?
Possibly, there's a lot of grants out there for AED types too. I know
But
Railroad has.
They already have the process going and have it, like, they're getting one for the senior building, so,
So it's nothing to add one on.
yeah.
And I wouldn't get the model that we have here. There's other cheaper models that suffice. So but I'll work with Jen. I'll get
Yeah.
with Jen.
Basically, what she's been getting is kind of trying to keep it uniform throughout the county.
Yeah, and we're physio control
Right.
county, so it's all the same. It's CR2s, but all the cops are kind of holding now. There's no adult and child pads in those. It's all one,
One
and you push a
pad, yeah.
button to
And that's what she's getting.
switch. Yeah, okay. So yeah, so we're all on the same page there. So
But she is thinking that was running out in June or July, so.
I'm gonna talk to her this afternoon
Yeah.
and send her an email so we can get on that. But so that was a good thing that was brought up out of the CPR classes there. So other than that, there wasn't much that came out of the
Maybe for the jail.
January. I mean, jail has, they could get another one. They have one, but
Okay.
I can see what their needs are. They have one for the
One
jail
on either side, one on the jail side, one in the.
office. They
admin side.
from what I have, they have two of them like that. Yeah, and then all the deputies have them in their
Right.
squads. So, otherwise, it's just kind of been business as usual. Preston's looking at a couple protocols to their list. So I've been working with them to get protocols updated, training updated. So with Dr. Bivey, so they can add albuterol to their EMT list, what they allow. So. Other than that was just basically what we were talking about since our last budget meeting. So.
Any questions for Mike?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you
All right,
much.
anyone?
Yep.
Well, as I look at the time and I look at our agenda, we're moving right along. See, we have a couple of work sessions. Any boards or commission reports we need to talk about?
I do not.
I was at Together We Build last night. Everything's going pretty good. They're starting to get a handle on approximately how much it costs to run that building per month with utilities. Rentals are starting to pick up. Things are starting to go pretty good, but they're looking at putting in security cameras, and that's one question they wanted to know is if they put in security cameras on the outside of the building, do they have to come through us? Because in there it says anything attached to the outside of the building. There will be, if I remember right, 5 cameras, excuse me. That'll be placed on the outside of the building is what they're looking at. And that'll give them 360 panoramic of the whole building.
You got anything to do with that, Bjorn?
And
I mean, are they compatible with what we're using here, or we won't see that from here, or we can or can't, or they're totally separate? Somehow, either we took that building over, I'd like to see that intertwined somehow, if possible, but.
I mean, the guess is too, who's gonna monitor it?
Depends on what
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
system they put in. They may have, web access or something like that.
they'll have web access through their phone. They took bids. They went through 2 different companies, responded. One's a local company. He installs them, he monitors them. They'll have web access when something gets triggered.
I assume that's kind of what Jaden has done on secondary roads now.
Yeah.
I assume it's the same person.
Yeah. And they say these cameras are gone as far as people have them on their farms and they can filter out like dust, so a moth flying in front of the camera won't trigger it. It'll filter out cattle, so cattle won't trigger it. They've got pretty intense, but there's been some issues with down in that area around the senior center, things like that. It's just something they wanted to have access to. They're gonna do 5 on the outside and they're looking at probably 3 or 4 on the inside just to give them full scale. So when it's rented out, they'd be actually, if something gets damaged or whatever, they can go back and look and see exactly what happened, when it happened, how it happened, who did it kind of thing. So trying to ensure that. So that's a question they have, that right now it's just a funding thing. When they decide to, they have enough money, they can pull the trigger. They want to know if we're on board, if they install these security cameras.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I think it's a good thing to have, you know, if you see them coming in and out of the. I mean, sure, you can set your perimeter at any given, you know, so.
And they did a demonstration of the cameras, and the cameras are like, they'll put one in the hallway right facing the front door, and they're 180-degree cameras, so they can see clear down either hallway, and they can actually turn and zoom and bring that image up to see what's going on. So they get pretty good coverage. So
Yeah.
So if you guys are
Did
good,
they ever sign an agreement for church services? Did I hear one time?
they were looking into it, and that seems like it's going to get pushed off till probably school time in the fall. But that is something they're really looking at, because the church is actually looking on buying a building. And they might have found one, but it might not be available for about 3 years. So this could be kind of a long time commitment revenue stream for the bill to come in. So,
Yeah, if the facility's open,
yeah.
I think they should come before the board and you should make a motion to allow them to put cameras,
Okay.
since it's in the lease.
yeah. You can
Yeah,
simply
that
put that on the agenda too, I would think.
Yeah.
We don't have our fair board lease on the agenda though, do we?
No. So that's all I got. You got any?
No. I guess Iris met and there was a question when Elizabeth was here on if they were done, and yes, they are done up in the Dressler subdivision. All the last well was capped in November. So they're just basically working on getting all the final paperwork filed with the USDA grant, all their grants that they got, but everything was completed.
So the park's all hooked up and everybody's hooked up.
Everybody is hooked up and they're receiving payments.
I haven't heard anything and that's good news, so it must be going okay.
Yeah, basically one area that they're having an issue with, but they're reaching out to the homeowner on that, so.
There's nothing else.
Yeah, we just have work sessions, that's it, ain't it?
Yep.
I'd make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Got a motion by Mike, second by Nan to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
All right.
Meeting's adjourned. Have a good day, everybody.